1920s, a job at the United States Radium Corporation factory in New Jersey was considered elite for young women. They were paid handsomely to paint the tiny numbers on military watches, using a revolutionary new element that glowed in the dark. To get the fine precision needed for the clock faces, their supervisors taught them a specific technique: point the camel hair brushes with their lips. Lick, paint, repeat. The paint was laced with radium. The young girls, completely oblivious to the danger, asked their bosses if the liquid was safe. They were explicitly told it was harmless. Infatuated by the magic of the element, the girls started painting their fingernails, their teeth, and even their dresses with the leftover paste to surprise their boyfriends in the dark. They were called the Radium Girls, but beneath the dazzling glow, a horrifying microscopic destruction was already underway. And I vouch for every word. Within a few years, the glamour turned into an absolute biological nightmare. It began with severe toothaches and ulcers that refused to heal. When local dentists went to extract the teeth, the surrounding jawbones literally crumbled away at the touch of their forceps. Because radium chemically mimics calcium, the girls' bodies were absorbing the radioactive materials straight into their skeleton, bombarding their bone marrow with continuous lethal radiation from the inside out. The necrosis was relentless. Jaws completely detached from skulls, hips shattered under the weight of walking, and massive tumors sprouted from their limbs. In the ultimate psychological horror, when these women looked into their mirrors at night in total darkness, their own faces stared back at them, glowing with an eerie, unholy light. Their bodies were decaying while they were still alive. As the death toll began to rise, the factory owners didn't halt production. They covered it up. The corporation hired independent medical experts to investigate the illnesses, but when the reports concluded that radium was the cause, the executives suppressed the findings. To completely destroy the women's credibility, the company launched a smear campaign, bribing doctors to falsely attribute the bone decay to syphilis. Finding a lawyer willing to fight a multi-million-dollar defense contract was nearly impossible. 5 dying women, led by Grace Fryer, decided to sue anyway. The legal battle became a race against time, as the plaintiffs were literally too weak to even raise their right hands to take the oath in court. In the end, the Radium Girls won a landmark settlement, forcing the implementation of life-saving occupational safety regulations that protect workers to this day. But the victory was written in blood. Almost all of the original dial painters died agonizing deaths shortly after the trial concluded. Yet their story doesn't end in the grave. Because the half-life of radium-226 is over 1,600 years, their final resting places remain radioactive anomalies. If you walk into those New Jersey cemeteries tonight and hold a Geiger counter over the earth, the needles will scream. The bones of the Radium Girls are still glowing in the dark, buried 6 feet beneath the soil. The tragedy of the Radium Girls remains history's most glowing testament to corporate greed and human resilience. I vouch for every word. The vault is deep and the records only get stranger from here. Please subscribe to unseal the next archive. Till next time, keep searching.